Now let's review the exploratory sequential design. Notice the difference with the previous one. That one was explanatory and this one is exploratory. So what's the difference between them? Exploratory sequential design is actually the opposite to the explanatory one. This design prioritizes qualitative data collection and analysis and has it as a first phase. The quantitative data collection and analysis builds on qualitative findings and attempts to generalize them. This type of research design is appropriate when the researcher is interested in generalizations of qualitative findings that are based on only few individuals to a larger sample of data. The results from the first phase of this design are used to inform the second phase. Finally, this is a common research design for instrument development. It is used when the researcher doesn't know the variables needed to address their research question, doesn't have available instruments to measure them, and doesn't have guiding framework or theory. When would you use this type of design? This design is useful when the research problem is more qualitatively oriented, or when there is a lack of theory guiding the research, lack of knowledge of constructs and instruments to measure them. The logistical reasons for choosing this type of research include lack of resources and sufficient time to collect the data in a sequential manner. If the researcher expects the quantitative questions to emerge from the qualitative data, this research design can be chosen as well. This design has similar strengths to the explanatory sequential design. The sequential nature makes it easy and straightforward to describe, implement, and report the findings. This design is attractive for addressing the qualitatively oriented research questions, as the quantitative component makes the initial findings stronger for quantitatively oriented audience. The quantitative phase of the research does not have to be fully developed at the stage of proposing the study, as the quantitative phase might emerge from the first one. This design also shares its challenges with the explanatory sequential design. Specifically, it requires more time for implementation, as the data are collected and analyzed in a sequential manner. If the quantitative phase is emerging from the qualitative one, it might be difficult to get the ethics approval for the study. This design requires a small purposeful sample to be used in the first phase and a large sample in the second phase. In case of instrument development being the goal of the study, the researcher has to decide which qualitative data to use for constructing the instrument. Finally, when the instrument is developed, further steps should be undertaken to ensure its reliability and validity.